No, you should be happy. You should be happy. It's almost the end. It's almost the end. It should be boom. Boom.
Now look how the demeanor's changed from episode 1 to episode 622. It's like I am so demoralized. It's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm sweating like hell. But
is it still burning even at 2, 3 a.m.?
It's literally the temperature's gone back up to 26.
Oh
so it's like 26 degrees. So it's like 86 degrees
something.
Fahrenheit.
That's like 80 something for us. Oh fucking hell. Anyways, welcome back, Resident Evil 6.
It's pretty hot, but welcome back. We're all good. We're
assuming we are about we're near the beginning of the end of this game.
Yeah.
We're in the same area where I remember Chris and Pierce had their final fight, and so yeah, it's looking like we're getting there. We're getting a lot of ammo.
Is tooling us up. I think
we're getting a lot of ammo, so that's good. Oh yeah, Usadek's gonna fucking somehow show up.
I wonder how we kill.
Oh jeez, this is the final fight, all right.
Well,
yeah, this is it.
115 meters of hell, like fucking barren hellscape. Oops.
Did you die?
I triggered this frigging cutscene.
Alright, well, here goes Usadek, which is like, how did he get here? Who knows?
Who cares?
Because aren't we technically in an underwater facility? Like, yeah, we're in an underwater facility. And of course, Usadek. He just opens the door!
The best reveal ever! He's like, by the way, I'm here too.
That was actually pretty funny. I like that. That was funny. He just opened it all quiet.
Y'all forget about me?
Oh jeez, he has a ball and chain. He has a ball and...
Matrix!
Really? We really fucking Matrix this shit?
Yeah, it's a Wesker reference with how much Wesker looks like Neo.
Is it really? Is that really a...
I think so. If that wasn't intentional, it should be.
Cause I mean, this game is just full of cliches, so I mean, it could have just been that.
Some you ugly son of a bitch.
Oh, but I bet. Oh, he's gonna fucking die just like Wesker, though.
Yeah.
He's gonna go
I don't want to shake off Usadek. Jesus Christ, on his both arms.
I do.
All right.
Speak for yourself. I do. You think Okay.
Oh, shit. I'm stuck.
Okay.
On, please don't glitch now.
Come on, big boy. Get over here. That should have killed me. Oh. Turn around. Oh, ammo. I don't know why he's here in a shitty ass spot, like where you could easily kill us. Alright, you could just go to the right and run away. You know that, right?
Oh, really? Okay, now they're fucking head-to-heading with this bitch. Let's go.
I mean, I kind of thought we might have to, but like... Oh, wait, I think we might have to... Oh, wait, we do have to fight him. Oh man!
I'm getting this, I don't care what anyone says. Yes!
Shot him. I don't know if I did anything. I shot him again. He's running at me. I don't want that. No. We don't want that.
Don't want any of that. Take down Usadek. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, is that the new objective? Just take him down now instead of shaking him off like Taylor Swift?
Yeah, I think he's bored of shaking him off.
Yeah, he got tired of that song. Me too. I don't blame you, Usadek. I don't blame you.
Oh, he's off.
He's like off like a foot. he gets soul started up, and he runs for like. Oh shit! Okay, he's really running this time. He's really running this time.
He's really mad.
Okay, that time I think he heard me talking shit.
I'm gonna try and get right up in his face and see if that helps. Nope, missed. Point blank range.
Oh, that was me. That was me. What the fuck? Wait, what platform did we land on?
I have no idea. I didn't think there was ground here.
I honestly thought we were gonna die, and I was hoping we would have. I really was hoping we would have. Hey, I have grenade launcher shots.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's use those.
I'm gonna shoot him up the ass. Oh, take that ass.
Grenade shots actually do something, I think.
Yeah, they recoil them a little bit.
Yeah, which is good. Nope, not that one apparently.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He'll do whatever it takes to kill us.
You're saying that now? This dialogue is so pointless.
Yes.
What? Jerry now?
Mine.
What the fuck? Oh, am I actually using my stun gun? Wow, okay, this is why we have the stun gun. Okay.
Just give me the freaking.
Wait, are you really gonna rip off the arm?
I'm taking his fucking gauntlet.
That is insane. That no. Oh, there I go.
Oh.
Uh-oh, you gonna get it now.
Where did this friggin'...
No, we both lost our pistols. Oh no, we lost our pistols. Too bad we don't have 8 other guns.
Oh yeah, he's smart enough though. Smart enough to use the elevator and kick that away.
Oh, jeez.
Alright, you know it. Melee time, motherfucker. Let's do this.
I just get to watch this shit?
Yeah.
Okay. All I have is a stun gun. All I have now is a stun. What? So my pistol represents all of my guns? Okay.
Oh, it's fucking melee time, bitch.
Oh, I got a computer. I'm somehow working a computer. I'm doing something. Wait, what the fuck? I'm controlling something. I don't know what though. What the fuck?
Oh shit.
What am I supposed to do? You about to die?
No.
Oh.
Oh,
Interesting.
boom!
Okay, well I think I fucked that up.
I'm giving him a good old Wesker palm strike.
Okay. What the fuck?
Haha! Sure you can!
Okay, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know what part I'm supposed to play in any of that, but...
Left, right, fucker!
That is... I'm not even gonna comment.
Superman! That was the best scene of the whole game. I'm so happy. Now he has to feel bad because this is how his dad died. Long live the king.
Well, what doesn't know how he died?
He is not dead. I told you melee was the way.
I don't remember what I was supposed to do. I don't know what I was supposed to do. I don't think I didn't play a single part.
You're supposed to sit back and enjoy the show.
Finally killed him.
I guess I did.
Told you. From the fucking get-go I knew that these hands are rated E for everybody. Including
we
the
knew
guy.
we knew that those fists were something else from the
Straight
very
up.
beginning. And I don't know why I have a stun gun. I just
It's completely
I feel like they
useless.
only put that in because then it made that one earlier scene like justifiable.
Yeah, it's like Sherry has
But
a
it's
point
like, but
playing.
really, you made me have this stun gun, this worthless stun gun, just for this scene? I hate you. I hate you, Capcom. I hate you so much. I hate you. By the way, we still don't have our weapons.
We won't need
Oh,
them.
and by the way, they still somehow gave us an emblem for us to hit, even though Jake can't. Oh wait, he has fists, I guess. He can punch it.
I've got mine. I've got
You
mine.
want to go punch the
right
emblem?
here.
Go punch the emblem. Go punch the emblem.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Where is it? Oh yeah. Over here. Damn it. Yeah! It worked. I just had to throw them all in one punch.
I can't believe fists. I still can't believe fists are a weapon, which is somehow different than regular melee.
Yeah. Better
I-
than regular melee.
I mean, obviously it is, but it's like, like it couldn't have, like you couldn't even like maybe like I don't know had brass knucks or something, you know, like
Yeah, I
something
know,
to
like
really
some kind
make
of
the
gauntlet or
fists
something, you know.
something because like okay in Neo, there's a weapon called fists.
Yes.
Okay, but you don't. It's not just your fucking fists. It's like you have these things you put on your fists that give that you know. So it's like okay, at least that makes sense. Also, they would have flown immediately.
Yeah, there's no
okay.
goddamn steering.
Oh, hey, Usanak.
That was less subtle than his elevator entrance.
Hey, Usanak, I don't know how you got there.
Oh no!
Oh, yes, this again. Here we go, because we can't have Resident Evil finale without QTE.
Shake him off, quick!
This is how we're ending the game. This is really how we're ending the game.
That explosion is literally, like, we are out-crawling that fucking explosion.
And you see, like, okay, this, like, okay, we would fly off, okay? This is not how this is supposed to work. We would fly off immediately.
Has, like, superhuman strength, but Sherry is human as fuck.
I mean, she has restorative properties apparently because of her parents.
That's true, yeah.
But she can't. She's not a log that can hold back the center of gravity.
I'm telling you, like, Sherry can stand up inside a black hole, like.
Bro, this. Like, and also, what are they even grabbing onto? They're grabbing onto nothing.
How big is this facility? We've been going for miles.
Like when they started this whole thing, that amount of wind and velocity would have blown them off the thing.
And imagine the heat coming off this thing, right?
Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. With the heat, that must be. How hot that must be. Yeah. Okay, come on, really? Is that what we're doing?
Take the hit. Final destination, fuck off.
One more for you,
What a fucking invincible plastic.
Oh, he's holding on with his hook. But at least that makes okay. At least I can get down with that. He's holding on. Oh, a gun.
Get the back then. Okay.
I got the bag. I got it.
Right, fine. I saw it first.
I saw it first.
Fine. If I don't get it, I'm quitting.
Yeah! Hell yeah, Sherry, you do it.
Quick, become relevant. Yes.
Oh my gosh! Fucking hell! Oh my! Really, we have to aim?
Smile, you son of a bitch!
Really, they made another.
Yeah, but don't you feel so much more connected now because we did it together? Right? Right?
The way you said that, it's so sincere. No sincerity in your voice. Like, we did it. We did it together, though. So.
But I meant it. Why don't Umbrella just make more of them?
You saved me.
Really, we're getting
You know that.
we're getting sentimental when we have this fire that's blowing up behind us.
The nuke, though. That's.
No, if they kiss, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit.
I'll puke.
Thank you.
Don't you fucking do it, Sherry. Don't you
Don't do it.
fucking
Save
do
yourself
it.
for Leon.
Oh, no! Oh, no! No!
He's so upset.
No!
He's so angry, motherfucker.
No! Sherry, no! You know your man is Leon. You know this. Okay, whatever. Fine. The fucking game's over. Like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
What happened? Did somebody survive? What happened? Is that it? It ends like that? This huge explosion, then what? They're just like, we go out together in a blaze of glory.
They're dead. They're just dead. They're
Of course
dead.
they're fucking
They're
dead.
dead.
Of course they're dead. But
That's why we haven't seen them since Resident Evil 6. That's why they weren't in 7 or 8. Because they're dead. Finally, Gemini's been broken. Finally. I've been waiting for this.
why?
I'm waiting for this. I've been waiting. You haven't been broken this whole game.
It's fucking so ridiculously unreasonable. That's so unfair. That's not even cool. Like, what the? No explanation. No.
Well, granted,
nothing.
okay. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. What would happen? What? Here's the thing. Watch it. What's gonna happen? First of all, hold on. First of all, we were getting like some fucking like weird ass love ballad situation going on as the ending song for this campaign, and I am hating every second of it.
All of it. I feel physically sick.
Secondly, I was gonna say, well, you know, there's gonna be a cutscene at the end.
There better be.
There has been for the past two. The other two, the other two campaigns have one. I imagine they all do.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing: we're probably not gonna get an explanation, but we will see a cutscene with them both alive.
Yeah, probably married.
Oh God! Oh, why'd you have to bring that up again? I totally forgot. I already forgot about it.
That's how much impact it had on you. You forgot about it before the credits
And
ended.
you already brought it up. Oh, fuck. At the very least, I will say at least this boss fight was the least strenuous.
Yeah. I mean, it was like that was actually a reasonable boss fight at the end. You know, it had
That one didn't overstay its welcome.
No.
It didn't last long. Cause
I got to
okay,
use
Chris
melee
and Pierce took fucking forever
Yeah, that
with
was
like the
just
shocking
crazy.
thing.
Yeah.
You had to shock him, and then you had to like then get him when he was dead. Like it was just
so,
ridiculous. And
so
then
overcomplicated. It didn't.
and then Leon and Helena's wasn't complicated, but it just wouldn't end. He just kept coming back. He just would not die.
This guy did too. You know, like that was the
Well,
one thing I didn't like about.
But that was
this.
throughout the whole game. But that was
Yeah.
throughout the whole campaign. But like that
It's like Mr. Mac only had one form. You know, different
yeah,
arms.
that was it. Just that was it. But like the in
fucking
Leon,
reveal though that.
yeah,
and he's just there.
and
like,
Leon and Kennedy and Leon Helena's campaign. Once the bad corporate guy turned into the monster,
yeah.
it just was like a boss fight throughout the whole rest of the game. And it was just
Yeah.
like, dude, fucking hell, really, just end. So I felt like that one just lasted forever. But this one, that didn't take long.
That was.
Dude, they're playing like some fucking like 2000s, like mid 2000s soft rock song. Like I'm so hating it. They just want to push this love narrative between these two. Like it doesn't deserve it. I said this earlier, and I'll say it again. They have not done enough with those characters and anything for them to deserve an actual romance. They haven't deserved it. They did nothing. Half the game, they didn't even like each other. And then all of a sudden, like they start feeling kind of mushy towards each other. Like, what? No, that's not how that works.
There was no real like build up to it. I saw they were trying to. I don't know.
Yeah, like the
maybe
build up
lost
they thought they were doing.
Maybe in
But, like-
Japanese it's better. Like you know, if you watch Squid Game and you watch it in Korean, it's fucking great. But if you watch it with English dub, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like because you know so much is lost in translation. Maybe that's the case. I'm blaming that. If this was done in Japanese, we'd be fucking weeping right now for different reasons.
Yo, Helena was voiced by Laura Bailey. I know that name. That's actually I think she's a pretty high profile voice actress.
I thought she was really good. Like even in this.
And that explains why she was so fucking good. That explains it. Because yeah, I mean everything else with her sucked, but like with her scene with her sister, yeah, that explained why that was so good because she has an actual good voice actress behind her. But it's so weird because Troy Baker's Jake, I mean, he's a phenomenal voice actor, but like it just felt too hammy. And this everything he did in this game was just too hammy, which is not his fault. It's just a general thing when it comes to it's a general thing when it comes to Japanese stuff being turned in, you know, for English audiences.
Yeah.
Everything comes out so fucking campy. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a reason we don't make like anime into like. Have you noticed that whenever people try to remake an anime or a manga into like a live action movie, it's always a pitiful catastrophe.
yeah,
Like,
the track record. The track record lately with most recent live actions, whether it's a movie or a show based off of anime, hasn't done well. Especially because if it's been English, you know, actors and all that shit. Yeah, it just doesn't translate very well. Some about the Japanese voice actors for anime is just it just works. It just here's something what I've always wondered though too. I've always wondered like, well, does it sound campy to Japanese people? You know what I mean? Like, does anime sound campy to them, but not to us? Because, like, you know, if you listen, and for people who, anime fans, if you know, ever try to watch dubs, and I know it's because I actually started watching animes as dubs at first.
Yeah.
And one thing that always turned me off was just how fucking campy the voice actors were. And so it's campy to us English speakers to hear an English dub of an anime, but I wonder if if subs, which is actually the native versions, if those sound campy to Japanese audiences. You know, I wonder. I wonder.
That's curious. You know, if we have any Japanese folks in the audience, let us know. I don't think we have any Japanese fans out here. I'm not
Bro,
sure
they had military advisors for this game. I just
Oh,
saw
well,
that.
they'll have needed them and let them know if they could get away with this shit.
Well, there's only 3, and I think they needed like at least 30 more. Because this was an atrocity on everybody.
Yeah, this is insulting on so many levels.
Oh my gosh.
Well, admit
But
it, we have
over.
had a good time.
No, not this campaign. This campaign was the worst. It was.
You loved it. You
It-
loved the panty shots. You loved the nakedness. You loved the build up to this epic love story that's still better than Twilight.
Honestly, no, not that
Oh,
can't
oh.
work for here. That can't work here. Twilight was better. I will. Okay, you know how it's so bad that the non-existent love story between Helena and Leon was better than this, and they didn't even have a love story. Oh my gosh, I feel like the love story was like, interesting. Like they didn't know how to make Jake an interesting character, so they had to make a love story to give him some dimension to his character. Because if you took that away, what does he have?
Yeah, this is the thing. You know, it's just like shit Captain America.
And it's like, which is a shame because he's the son of Wesker, right?
Yeah.
And now I don't know.
So-
And now I don't know the overall lore of all the games, but I imagine this was the first mentioning, or at least introduction to the character of Wesker's son.
It is.
In
And
the game.
Wesker is a staple bad guy. Like he's,
Yeah, I know
he's
Wesker.
synonymous with the franchise.
I know
you
Wesker. Everyone knows Wesker.
Yeah.
Even before I'd ever played the games, I knew Wesker. You know, fucking glasses and doors and all that shit. I knew Wesker, but I don't think anyone knew Wesker's son, like, or even had offspring.
You never
right?
mentioned him until this started.
So it's like you have such a good story here. They probably honestly could have revolved all of Resident Evil 6 around Jake, and then had all the other. Like, if they wanted to have Leon, Chris, all those people in, they could have found a way, because they all have a stake in him in some way
Yeah.
or another, right? So
they could
like,
have put it in a one big campaign. though.
because like I said earlier in the last episode, there's about 20-30 hours of gameplay if you did all four campaigns, right? If you made that just one story, 20 or 30 hour campaign of just Jake, I think they could have done a really good job, because all the other characters would give him more dimensions to his character, because you have Leon, Helena, and Sherry,
yeah.
who all work for that company or whatever, who obviously know that they knew of him. Sherry already knew Jake from the start, or knew of his existence, so they want to go get him because he has the possible vaccine of his blood for this crazy outbreak. And then you have Chris and Pierce, who are the BSAA. I forget why they were involved, but they're part of the military force.
Because
And
we needed the characters in the game.
and they found out that Wesker has a son, so eventually they want to go get Wesker because they think, I don't know, maybe they want to capture him. But like, you have these people who want to save him, keep him alive for the vaccine, and you have Chris and crew trying to kill him or capture him or something like that. And they're all coming together, and that can create the little standoff between Leon and Chris, because they're on opposite ends of the situation. But it all revolves around Jake. Everything could have revolved around him and given him so much fucking personality and character, because he has the vaccine, or he is the vaccine. His blood is the vaccine, and like, you can make it where he doesn't even know it at first, because you can start him off as just being a mercenary, as they did, but then he gets found by the Sherry and Leon and all of them, and it's like, yo, hey, you're fucking Wesker's son, or Wesker's son. You had the vaccine. We need you, and you can. Dude, you could just fucking... That could have been your game. That could have been Resident Evil 6, and it would have been fucking amazing. Anyway,
They should have written it.
let's see this fucking cutscene. Hey, Sherry.
Wesker's blood sample.
Yeah, see the blood sample. See, she was here for the blood sample.
Along with 6 months worth of
Yes,
results
see?
retrieved
They could have done this whole game around that.
With the data now in the right hands, things seem to be finally settling down.
Briefcase.
Following Jake's rescue, BSAA officials classified his relationship to Albert Wesker as top secret, recognizing the threat
Yeah,
that
you
posed
can...
to global
See, now that works. I like that. That's fine. That's not how computers shut down, but okay. I like how I said on my hot pants, though. Of course you have tea. What kind of planet are you one that has tea?
United Arab Emirates.
Oh, UAE? Alright.
I lowered my asking price to
$50? Damn, you fucking slut.
What do you want? Do you want to shake him off or something?
$50? I mean, you had 50 million before. Also, where are you, Jake? Where are we? Of course, you're on a fucking motorcycle. Naturally.
Well, why wouldn't I be?
Naturally.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, because I'm the epitome of...
Oh, the glasses.
Oh, yes, of course. He has the glasses now. Because he's Wesker's son. Bye, Wesker, son. I don't care about you at all. See, okay, so they have this love story, and then they just, I don't know, abandon it because he's got to be a man on his own. Man on the road. I'm just a man by myself, a lone wolf. Can't be with no woman. So it's like, why would you do all that build up in the first place? See, it's like, because then if you have a 20-30 game, see, 20-30 hours is enough time to build a love story between him and Sherry, if they wanted to do that. And so, that, I would have been like, okay, yeah, you guys fucking deserve to fucking, I don't know, kill each other, fuck each other, I don't even know. What is mining the depths? What the fuck does that even mean?
Don't start asking questions, dude, because we're going to find new game modes and it's going to make us do more, and we're so close to being done with this bullshit.
Oh my god, yeah, so that's that, but yeah, it's just, yeah, it's just, they broke up, they had to rush these, that's probably why the game never fucking feels like it stops, because instead of having one longer 10-hour game, or two 10-hour games, you cut it in, like imagine Resident Evil 2, right, good example, that's 2 campaigns, well technically 4, but we'll just say 2, between Leon and Claire, right?
Yeah.
And that's about, I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, it's about 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever. Depends on how tough it is, how new you are to the campaign. I mean, for you, it was like 30 minutes, but for most of us, it was like about 8 to 10 hours, we'll say, give or take, for one campaign, and about the other one maybe slightly lower because you're more familiar with the police station.
Sure.
Imagine that cut in half. Both of those campaigns cut in half, and imagine, but they still need to tell the exact same story. Imagine how much faster that would be. But not in a good way, but like, you know, fast in a bad way. Because like then that's why this game doesn't ever feel like it's scary, because how can something be scary when there's no tension being able to be built?
You can't build it. This is the thing. You don't have any of that atmosphere.
There's no atmosphere, because you're not. I mean, and even when they try to put atmosphere, you can't enjoy it because you have to just fucking go. You have to go.
That's why I found myself not using my usual exploratory value. Now, normally, when I play a Resident Evil game, it takes me fucking days because I want to go through every nook and cranny, explore every room, look at every poster, interact with every object. With this one, there was no necessity to do that. There was no world building. There was no lore. It was just mad panic. You know, just like action non-stop all the time. So there was no need to explore.
And there's a conflict that the game ends up coming across because the game rewards you. I use that very fucking loosely. Rewards you for kind of looking around corners because, you know, the crates with the ammo or the skill points,
emblems, you know,
or the emblems. I guess it rewards you, but the game doesn't encourage it.
No, exactly.
And so there's a standoff there. There's a standoff. Like, it's like they put all that stuff around for you to find, but the game doesn't encourage you to slow down and look around.
No.
Very rarely does it do that. Yeah, in fact, it's a challenge to stop and look for shit.
It's like, I dare you to slow down.
Yeah,
see if we won't respawn everything.
Yeah, as if it's taunting you to look for shit. Because because enemies sometimes will just keep coming if you do that, and it's like, what? Yeah. And so
like, you pick up 15 bullets, but it's going to take all of them to kill the next 6 waves of enemies.
Yeah, and again, I think that comes down to the fact that every campaign, all 4 of the campaigns are only about 5 to 6 hours long, when they should have been 10 hours long each.
Yeah.
And so, and if that's what they wanted to do, they should have just cut out half of them, and it's just, instead of you being able to play as everybody, you just have them in the story. Yeah, I get it. It's everyone wants to play Chris or Leon or everybody. I get it, but sometimes, like, hey, you don't get to do that in 7 or 8, and everyone was fine with it. I mean, I guess now they didn't know that. They didn't know that at the time, but still, but like okay, Resident Evil 0 introduced brand new characters. and no one really bitched about that. At least as far as Resident Evil 0 is not. I mean, it's not the greatest game, but it's not terrible from what I've understood.
Popular. It's not the worst, definitely.
And no, that actually has the main characters. But I guess Zero is probably the best example. But when they did do it, it didn't piss people off per se.
No.
And that's a canon game, right? It's canon, right?
It is.
Yeah, it's canon. Can you play as in 3? Can you play as that dude, that military guy?
Carlos,
or is it all Jill?
No, it's Carlos. It breaks off as Carlos.
So Carlos is a brand new character. Were people pissed? No. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, people mostly.
No, everyone loves Carlos.
I'm sure most people played as Jill, but like no one was pissed that Carlos was in the game. So it's like they had experience. They had experience, successful experience, bringing in new characters to play as. And in the case of Zero, in the case of Zero,
make them a relevant part of the story.
Yeah, in the case of Zero, both characters were brand new. So there was no Leon, there was no Jill, there was no Claire, there was none of all the favorites that you want. None of the favorites you want to play as, but people were fine. And so it's like, why couldn't you have fucking done that here? You could have just had maybe Jake be the main character, your protagonist, brand new character, but he has more relevance than I would argue Ethan has in the greater Resident Evil lore, because he's Wesker's son. He's Wesker's son. And so how do you get more relevant than that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and if they really wanted to have you play as Leon, Chris, maybe dedicate like a tiny bit, like how in 8 you do get to play as Chris at the end of the game for a short chapter.
Yeah, you get like a period of it.
And so you get nice of this.
And they did that with other things, other games as well. Resident Evil 2, you play as Leon or Claire throughout the whole thing. But for a small section, for a 20-minute segment, you play as
Ada or Sherry.
Exactly. And then the same with Resident Evil 3. You play as Jill for the majority of the game, for like 90%, but it gives Carlos a 10% slot where it's like you get to experience a different character, the alternative like perspective and everything. They could have done that here, effectively. But just chose not to.
Because
even
especially
Resident Evil 4, you play as Ashley.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, they only stopped doing that. Like, they've always had that as a trope in Resident Evil, and it only stopped in 5 when they introduced co-op, and then they took co-op to a whole new level with this one. But obviously, there was no reason to play as other characters in this, because you can play as everyone. So it encourages you to play every campaign, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work, which is, I think, also because this game came out in 2012, and for people who remember that time frame, online multiplayer was like you had to have online multiplayer, and it was plaguing traditionally single player games at the time. The two major highlights were Tomb Raider and Batman. Batman Arkham Origins ended up having multiplayer added on, and everyone was like, why the fuck is there multiplayer in this game? There should be no multiplayer in this game. And the Tomb Raider had it, and again, everyone was like, why the fuck is there... I mean, yeah, there's guns in the game, but it doesn't mean... Just because there's guns does not automatically mean that there's multiplayer. That's not...
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be that, but at the time, that was the fucking thing, right? That was the latest trend. Every game had to have some kind of multiplayer. If there was guns involved, multiplayer. I mean, and Assassin's Creed ended up having multiplayer that lasted like 4 games, and then they finally fucking cut it because they realized everyone fucking hated it. And so, but for this, I think this stupid 4 different campaign, like you said, taking co-op to the next level, I think that was their best answer to that trend.
Yeah,
because there is no. I mean, I think you can play with a partner on the Horde mode or whatever, Mercenaries mode or something like that. But there is no, as far as I understand, PvP multiplayer.
No, at least not that I'm aware of.
Instead of having the PvP multiplayer that other games were doing, they were like, well, then let's just make the whole game online compatible.
Yeah. And
that'll be our answer instead to that. But like you said, though, it doesn't fucking work because it just it takes everything out of the Resident Evil everything. Like you can't. Yeah, it's like, hard to be scared.
Like Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's the same as these. What is it? Is it Dead by Daylight? What's the new game where it's quite a recent game, like 2020 plus.
Yeah.
And you got Resident Evil characters playable in it.
So that is Dead by Daylight. However, that game actually is as old as I think 2017 or 2018.
Alright, but even then,
But
let's take that time frame. Forgive my mistake on the time frame, but this is what that feels like to me. You know, it feels like they've just taken familiar faces that we know and love and thrown them into something else to boost its popularity. This doesn't feel like a Resident Evil game. The characters we're all familiar with, so we love them. We love the name Resident Evil, we love the monsters, we love the characters, and we love the whole umbrella, fucking evil bioweapon building corporation sort of thing. But they've thrown all of these characters and all these tropes that we've grown familiar with and grown to love over years and years of fandom, and they've just smushed it all together in this, they have to love it because it's got everything they like. It's the same as if they were to take, I don't know, let's take Lara Croft, for instance.
Yeah.
Lara Croft's an amazing character. They could do this with her. Everybody loves Lara Croft. Let's put her in this game too, because that's more action. It's like, cool, yeah, give her a cameo. No, just don't fuck with our guys.
Yeah,
our characters are good.
Again, I think it just was a lot of. I think they were just that Capcom was just following, like we said, too many trends. I mean, we said this before in other games. Like it was just they were trying to just look at every trend in every other game and bring them to Resident Evil. When it's like, why not just do what Resident Evil does best? Like you guys were the trend setter.
Has been working for 20 years.
You were the trend setter at some point back in the day. So it's like, why did you have? I mean, honestly, I feel like co-op was probably their downfall.
Yes, I agree. It
I
takes away the immersion. Like being a Resident Evil fan means that you get used to being the lone wolf. It creates a sense of atmosphere because you are alone. You have to overcome these problems yourself and work off your own merits. You can't just sit back and be like, my partner will shoot that zombie.
Yeah,
it's
you can't be. You can't. And this is here the thing. The reason why. See, like what happens is it takes away the fear, the tension, like you said. You're not scared anymore, which is and I know it's because that's exactly why I played Resident Evil 2 on the channel, selfish plug, with Travis, because I don't like horror games, and Resident Evil 2 can be proper scary, and so, but when I have him, it's not scary at all because we can just we can like scream hysterically, like funnily, like in a humorous way, and kind of relieve the tension for us. And honestly, when I am forced to play any or watch any horror movie, I have to make jokes in the movie, like during the movie, to calm me down because I just can't handle it. And that's exactly what happens when you play a co-op game, or when we start playing Resident Evil 5 or 6 co-op. You can't be scared with another person in your ear trying to talk to each other and work things out. Also, you can't move at your own pace because your pace will probably not be exactly the same as your partner's pace.
True. Or
you feel like, even if maybe both of you are about the same pace, one of you might eventually start thinking like, oh crap, am I kind of slowing things down? Like, you're always gonna have the back of your mind, right? Because you're worried about another person slowing them down. Maybe they want to go or something. And especially if they're nice, they don't really say it. You still kind of feel the back of your mind like, oh fuck, like, oh shit. And so you can't fully take in what the game was presenting to you. And I know because I have played 5, a little bit of 5 co-op, and yeah, not scary in the slightest. I mean, it's maybe a tiny bit more than 6, because it's not as ridiculous as 6, but it's still not scary, really at all. And it's like, well, what happened? Resident Evil should be scaring the shit out of me. I mean, because even when I played 2 with Travis, I was still scared at points. It was able to go way faster because I was able to laugh it off with Travis. This game is terrible. Sorry, that's our review of Jake's game. That was us breaking down. That was us breaking down Resident Evil 6.
I've just I moved on to the next screen just to see what was happening, and it's I'm checking out dog tags, and this is actually quite interesting.
Cool. I'm not.
You don't even bother. Just one thing before we close out. You'll have recognised recently, even as someone who's not a massive fan of Resident Evil in general and horror games at all, you understand, like, you get that Resident Evil 2 was a fucking great game. Like, it was a really, really good game, really good horror, like amazing characters and everything. And it was a remake of the original Resident Evil 2. Then they did Resident Evil 3, and it was fantastic. Like, you know, it wasn't as well received as 2, but neither was the original. And then 4 is coming out, and no doubt they're going to do an amazing job of that. But it's pretty much common knowledge, and I think most of you guys most of our viewers here will agree with me. Anyone who's a Resident Evil fan or a veteran of the franchise will agree that Resident Evil 1 through 4 were the best. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The fucking best Resident Evil games. Everything else is sort of like, you know, you get a few hits, a few misses and everything, but just overall, 1, 2, 3, 4. Amazing collection. And they've recreated it by remaking 1, 2, 3, and in 2023 they'll have made 4, and they'll have done an amazing job of that. Do you think, like both the viewers and RJ, do you think that they are going to remake Resident Evil 6 as well?
I honestly, the more you and I talked about, or at least mainly me, given like how I felt, how they could have revolved the story around Jake, the more I was saying that to myself, I was like, fuck, I actually want to play that game.
Yeah,
like I would play the shit out of that, right? Because like if it was a single player, I'm sorry, I know co-op is fun and great and all. There's not enough co-op stuff out there in the gaming sphere, but for this, it has to be single player.
Yeah.
So you gotta can all the other campaigns, except for one. But I mean, they probably would make it around Jake, but they should.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that's the freshest and the newest option to them, which I think could pay the biggest dividends, but that's just my opinion. But if they did a single player game, but they somehow were able to just, instead of having all these four distant, whatever, they're separated campaigns, but they're somehow supposed to mesh, but they don't always mesh in the right way. But they were to somehow, instead of doing that, they just took bits of it and have that, just instead of having two different things happening at once to meet together, it's just one, and then that just plays out just one of them at a time. So instead of you having to play two campaigns to get to the same part of Ustanak in the with the giant tower falling on him, instead of that, you play as Jake and you get to just that one point and you meet maybe all of them or just one or two of them from this original scene, and you play that as is. And then if they do stuff like that, but also just one, like I said, one campaign, and make it like 15-20 hours, because they haven't, I mean, I don't know if they have enough content, because obviously you are rehashing a lot of the same shit, because it's 4 campaigns supposed to come into one. But yeah, if you kind of just they like 10-15 hour campaign, I think I don't know if I would play it per se, because I would obviously they would have to then redo it and make it actually atmospheric and actually scary, which is not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea, as they say. I probably wouldn't play it, but I don't. Here's the thing: I don't know if they actually would, though, because
it's so bad that they might as well just do away with it, make it non-canon.
I think it's a bit it's a bit risky. It's a bit risky. I mean, there's risk with doing it with the good ones, because for some people it's like you're touching a classic. Right?
They don't need messing with. They're already great,
and you can risk ruining that legacy. If your remake
make 6 worse.
or if your remake or remaster or whatever ends up being like poorly done, it can risk tarnishing the overall legacy of that original game.
Definitely.
So that's the risk with doing with the good ones. But with the bad ones, it could be the sense of like, it's so bad that like most people kind of just like, there's no fanfare for it. And so like if you put all that effort into this, even if the game itself is good, it could still commercially do bad, because like no one wants to play that, because again, most people and some people are going to be cynical and still think it's going to be shit, which they have every right. Now that we're playing it, they have every right to think that.
Absolutely. 100%.
Because this game would need a complete redo. It's not just a simple remaster like Resident Evil 2 or 3, where they just remade it really nice and pretty and just enhanced some stuff, made things a little bit, and kind of streamlined some things for modern gaming. It would need to be completely redone
entirely.
completely redone, because they cannot have this 4 campaign bullshit. It needs to be 1 or 2 campaigns, which means they would have to completely retell and remap the storyboard for the game. So, you know, there would be a lot of work that would need to be done. More, I would argue, more so than 2 or 3 remakes did, or even probably up the upcoming 4 remake.
Maybe
It would need more work
just
than
because
that,
there's so
honestly.
much that needs doing to it. Like, because 2, 3, and 4 are already great. They're already like 5-star games. They're right up there with the best of all time. So to remake them was very risky, like you said, but they had some fucking solid gold material to work with. So they know that really, if it's already that good, all they've got to do is just sprinkle a little bit of 2020 graphics on it. You know, just update everything with the new engines, the new graphics, the new renders, and you know, all the new aspects that make games visually appealing and like audibly appealing, because like the sound is just. But yeah, a lot of it's about atmosphere. So if they were to remake Resident Evil 6, they've got a lot of work to do. Like, I agree with what RJ is saying, is they would have to take so much out of it, you know, remove all the bullshit, and there is a lot of bullshit, and just give you one focal point, one key aspect of the story, being Jake Wesker, and be like, right, introduction to a new character. This is scary because we've got a new guy. What if they don't like him? What if the audience don't take to him? But he's got so much potential, and he was not, you know, he wasn't done justice in this game because there was so much else going on that people were focused on the characters they love, Leon and Chris, and their, you know, their confrontation, and Ada being floating around in everybody's campaign as well. And it's like Jake sort of feels like, and Sherry even made a reappearance. It's like, oh yeah, Sherry Birkin, a familiar face, you know, good stuff. So Jake, even though he was like the main character, or he should have been the main character with the most like storytelling potential, you know, given the most substance to the lore that they're trying to reinvent with this game, he was more of a background character than anything compared to the rest. If they were to redo this, it would have to be a complete rewrite. You know, keep Jake, make him Wesker's son, make his blood a key, like to the vaccine or something like that, you know, something important, but just change everything else. Fucking just rewrite the whole thing.
Everything would have to be, most of it, maybe 70 to 80% of it would have to be redone. Everything. Yeah. Because, and also they would need, I don't know if they would need to recast him, you know, get away from, I mean, Troy Baker's fine. Troy Baker's great, but I think they would need to rewrite his lines, because if they kept, let's say they redid everything, but they still kept Jake as the same brooding asshole, no one would be able to really like him. And so if you want to do this full coming around thing, you know, he has to be. I mean, he can start off as an asshole. Okay, yeah, of course, a lot of games do that. Yeah. But as time goes on, he has to. As he starts to realize his actual importance, he needs to be. I mean, and you can still be an asshole. You can still be an asshole, but be likable, because Assassin's Creed 4.
Be the anti-hero. You know, he can still be a dick, but there's no comedic value to Jake. So if, like you said, if he's gonna be an asshole, make him likable. You know, like,
you can do that. Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. Yeah, that guy was a bit of an asshole, Edward Conway, or whatever his name is. Yeah. But he had so much charm and so much personality to him that, like, I mean, he didn't even care about the Assassin's Creed order at all until the end of the game. But people were like, it's fine. I don't care, because I like him. Yeah, I'm fine playing as him, no matter what he's doing, because he's cool. Absolutely. He's a cool guy. But like the Jake we get right was like, I don't want to even hear him talk ever. Like, I don't want to hear him say a damn thing ever. I didn't want him to do
Troy
anything.
Baker's voice.
Everything he did was just terrible. Like, whether he was punching things, yelling at things, everything he said was bad. It was just terrible. And like you said, him playing a backseat. I think, because, like, I mean, I know he comes up in the other campaigns too, and the point is about his importance, because he's the son of Wesker. He has the blood to stop things, which is it seems to be it should have been the focal point of everyone's campaign. Yeah. And they should have stopped. They shouldn't have had them get all sidetracked with all this other bullshit. It's funny because his campaign feels the most least worked on. Like you could like the least amount of effort was put into it. Like they were pretty lazy about it, and I feel Sherry's only brought in because again, co-op
familiarity. You know,
well, no,
like
not even familiarity, but just co-op. Just we gotta have a co-op character, so we'll just bring in.
And
we'll bring in Sherry, I guess. We'll bring in Sherry.
Because,
I guess it works.
Fits with the time frame. Cool.
Okay, cool. We'll just put in Sherry, but because like again, like it's just your fists are a weapon. Like, if that doesn't tell you,
I thought that was great.
It's hella stupid and funny, but like if that doesn't tell you the lack of care that went into this campaign, I don't know what else does. I mean, I have a stun gun as a starting weapon that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's like they obviously did not care as much about Jake's campaign, which is hilarious because his character, the character that they created for this game, should have been the vocal point of the entire conflict. So it's just so. I don't know if they just rushed half the game. They probably did, because I know that's a prevalent problem in gaming industry, game development, especially around this time frame. I mean, it's bad. It's still bad, but it wasn't even talked about back in 2012.
No.
Which is a thing that was absolutely expected of game developers at the time. And so I imagine there was probably hella crunch, hella rushing,
loads of pressure,
and then plenty of pressure. Also, 5. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't like completely. Hide up, and so they have that going on, and so it's just. But then again, I don't know why they just didn't. I mean, this game was so close to the PS4, Xbox One launch.
Yeah,
it was a year removed, or 1 or 2 year removes. They honestly could have just. They probably should have just not made it for last gen or for the PS3 360. They should have just skipped that, made it a PS4, Xbox One game, which would have given like a couple more years to work on it.
Yeah.
And then just, because with that, they could have easily done what we're talking about, this one character main focal point story. And then, because at the time when those systems came out, that need to have online multiplayer, all your single player games was kind of going away. And so, I honestly think if they had waited and made it for those systems, it would have been a lot better. But again, to answer your question though, I keep thinking about that this entire playthrough. Like, what would happen if they remade this? Yeah. And I would like them to, only out of morbid curiosity of what they would actually do.
Yeah.
But do I think it will actually happen? I think we'll have to wait to see how well 4 sells.
Oh shit.
And then if they ever do 5, because I don't think they'll go out of order. No. And so, which 5 is going to be a separate challenge all on its own, because the co-op wasn't as ridiculous as this.
No,
but
co-op was better.
But then again, even they can't separate the campaigns because Shava's always with Chris.
Yeah, they never really break off.
They're together the whole time.
The same room.
Yeah, and if they break off, it's momentarily, like how this game has it. When you're split up, it's for a little bit, but there's not a separate scenario. It's not a whole. Like, Shava's not gone somewhere else the entire game or something. No. Like, so they couldn't do that. Hear her. She's always there. So, like, if you wanted to play as Shava, maybe could make it to where you could just play either one through the whole campaign. Maybe they could do that. Yeah. I guess, but it's still just one player. But, that game, I don't know how they would, because that game still told just one story. So I don't honestly know what they would do with 5 beyond just a simple, a really nice remaster for the new systems. But because 6 actually has, as we're talking, 6 has the most potential to actually be redone, completely redone, because you could turn 4 campaigns to 1, which presents whole new ways of telling the story. But 5, it's just one story, and so I don't know what they would do with that. And then 5 was never heralded that well to warrant a remake of any kind. So, but I don't know. I mean, we've gotten remakes for games no one asked for and been great. I mean, Destroy All Humans is a good example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
Medieval.
Medieval wasn't bad either. So it happens where we get complete remakes of games that we didn't think would happen. And if they did, then again, with that, they would have to tone down the action. So, I mean, you can still keep it Africa. You can still keep Shava and Chris. And, you can all keep all that. But for no co-op, and they have to tone down that fucking action. And so, whatever whatever action level 4 is going to have with their remake, it shouldn't top
Keep
that.
it.
Whatever that
Yeah.
is, it shouldn't top
Yeah,
4's.
that.
Whatever action should not top 4. And so
Because 4 was there. 4 was perfectly on point where it was balanced well. Atmosphere and action were really good. You know, melee was a thing, and it was well done melee. It was good melee. You know, so you could like give an enemy a softening blow and then open them up in order to conserve ammunition and stuff. I think the only thing, if I'm going to be super, super bitchy and nitpicky, the only thing that was going to let 4 down as a horror game is how generous it is with ammunition. So, like, even on your first playthrough, if you're not playing on a hard difficulty, like if you're not playing on professional, which you can't unlock until you've completed the game anyway, you're not going to struggle. It actively encourages you to kill everything. And the knife and the melee are such good weapons that I can pretty much complete the first, like, 3 chapters of the game without firing a shot. I don't need to. You know, because you're never so overwhelmed that you absolutely have to. Even boss fights, you can work around them with the knife. Like the first boss, you don't even use a weapon with countable ammunition. It gives you an unlimited ammo weapon to fight it with. You know, so you're not really forced into real dire situations where it's like, oh my god, I have to run, I'm running out of ammo, I have to hide. You know, the horror aspect fades away the better equipped you are. Like if any of you guys have seen my speed run of Resident Evil, I did like a charity stream a while ago, a little shameless self plug. But I did a Halloween charity live stream where I challenged myself to speed run Resident Evil 4 as quickly as I could, and in doing so, I had like all the best weapons in the game. I wasn't afraid at one point. I was literally mowing everything down because I was never scared. Because I didn't need to be, because I was never running out of ammo. I could kill anything I wanted to. So it wasn't a challenge like mentally. It wasn't like there wasn't a horror aspect to it. But the remake looks like it is leaning more towards the horror route. So I think there will be a little bit less generosity when it comes to the drops and stuff like that. But I'm quite excited to see it, because I don't want to knock it.
Yeah, if they do that, I'm happy they do it, because the one thing that always baffled me with Resident Evil 4, and this is as a non-fan, so I'm on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
I always found it interesting how everyone raved about Resident Evil 4, from everything I've seen of it, and I've seen an okay amount of it, it's not really a scary game. And so I'm like, how did this... So I've always scratched my head of like, well, what did 5 do wrong that 4 somehow didn't do wrong? Because they're both more action focused, not really that scary, but yet 4 is revered as one of the greatest games ever made, and 5 is kind of an afterthought.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered that.
You know.
So what the fuck did 4 do so damn well that 5 just didn't do?
I think 5 took 4's like key elements, you know, the new aspects, the close quarter combat, the melee and everything like that. But I think what it did, right, there's a couple of things. Number one, the main downfall that makes Resident Evil 5 a non-scary game, you know, from survival horror to survival action.
Okay.
Resident Evil 5 is survival action purely because you have co-op. Like you said, even just playing it with Travis sitting by your side takes away that entire frightening aspect. You're not afraid of Resident Evil 5. It's not a scary game. It's not survival horror anymore, because you've got backup. You've always got a character that's interacting with you, especially when you're playing with another person. But even if you play with the AI, you can always depend on her to be like, watch your 6, get your back. Oh, you've been hurt, let me heal you. You know, so there's no real like terror, there's no horror, there's no frights. You know, jump scares, yeah, sure. You know, you're wading through the African wilderness, and some big fucking mutated crocodile jumps out. Oh my god, kill it. Resident Evil 4 though, you're still alone. Like, you're still completely by yourself in a rural village in the middle of Spain or Europe or like somewhere like that, and you're lost. Everything's new and exciting, but you're still alone. So the first time you play it, you're still curious about what's going to happen, and it's paced so well. that by the time you get used to a particular type of enemy, Ganados, they don't scare me anymore. Then something new comes out and it's like, oh shit, that's a bit intimidating. But then you get used to it and then you change it again, and they continue to do so, but so flawlessly that the chapters like seamlessly fade into one another and like maintain that, the story arc. It will divert. You've got your mission A to B, rescue Ashley, get off the island, sound. But there's complications along the way. But these complications aren't, oh shit, helicopter crash, oh shit, train crash, oh shit, nuclear bomb. It's very relatable issues. Like, how many helicopter crashes have you ever been in? But Resident Evil 4, it keeps this whole creepy, village in the middle of nowhere. You're surrounded by people who don't speak your language, who probably want to kick your ass, and, they live in an almost backward society.
Yeah.
So you go from Leon's I'm a city cop to this place where people are running around with pitchforks, and it's like, this is fucking weird. It's weird and it's creepy because you don't understand it. You don't get where you are. So even though there is a heavy focus on the action when it comes to getting yourself out of these sticky situations, the whole atmosphere of the game is based around I don't know what's going on. Fear of the unknown is such a powerful factor when it comes to Resident Evil 4. But replay value, it's you lose the fear factor. Once you played it once, it's not scary anymore.
Yeah.
But it's still really good. It's still a lot of fun. Resident Evil 5, it doesn't hold any of that initial appeal. It's just all-out action. It's better than 6, though.
Yeah, I played 5. It's better than 6, because 5 doesn't at least have an explosion every other second. And yeah, I feel like all those things that were happening in 6, that they created some excuse for something bad to go wrong, so that they could keep up the adrenaline.
Yeah. That was the aim, I think.
We've been talking too long about this game, guys, so we're gonna let you go.
Yeah, maybe we should wrap this up.
We finished this. This became a podcast. This basically became a podcast.
Yeah, it did. So
it was 15 minutes of us. It was 15 minutes of us playing the game, and then another 45 of just podcast.
Yeah.
So
this is how much we had to say, guys. We've been through an ordeal.
And we still have one more campaign. It's Ada, my queen. Is my queen.
She is not dead. She is not.
She is not dead. And this will be the only campaign where I'll be the host this time, because I'm sure Ada's the primary character. She's player 1, and I need to be Ada. So, and you're gonna be Hunk. Well, he's not Hunk, but
I already am.
Shut up. He's not actually Hunk, but we'll just assume he's Hunk. I think his actual name is Grunt.
Yeah.
But
Grunt, yeah. So close enough.
And
it's
apparently,
like Walmart value Hunk.
And apparently this campaign is also crap. So we got our we got it in for us. We got it in for us. So I don't know what's gonna fucking happen. This is the one campaign I know the least amount about. I think same thing goes for.
I didn't know it existed until the beginning.
Yeah, oh yeah, you didn't even know it was real. Yeah. Because all you did was Leon's, and you were done. You just did Leon's and we're done.
And that was it. Yeah, like 2 years ago, like Jake and everyone, complete enigma to me. So what we've done now is brand new. But Ada's campaign, I've never even seen it referred to before until I'd noticed it.
Yeah,
when we were on the load, I was like, "What do you mean Ada's campaign? Is that new? Is that DLC?" Turns out, yeah.
No, I mean it's not DLC. Grunt's character is an update, but she was built in from the very beginning. Her campaign's a secret unlockable.
I see. So I didn't even unlock that shit. To me there was 3 campaigns.
I think
we should be done now.
I think you did.
But no.
You were just, but like from what you said, it seemed to be once you were done with Leon's campaign, you were done. I
didn't even watch Leon's cutscene at the end. The credits didn't finish rolling through, and I turned it off. I'm like, done.
You must not have liked this game either, even back then.
I didn't, it didn't feel like Resident Evil, but I pride myself on. I'm a Resident Evil fan. I will play this game, at least Leon's campaign, because Leon was always my guy. He's my
Leon's everybody's guy. Leon's everyone's boy, man. He's the best. So it's fucking hell. It's over. I'm glad it's over. One more campaign, guys. One more campaign, and we're done with this long-ass 1,000-episode collaboration. And then we're going to start on something different. Who knows?
Something better. By then, RJ will come over to the UK, realise he can afford to purchase the UK, and maybe like.
Dude,
so
that'd be some shit. That'd be some shit if I have been able to come to the UK, visit, and come back before this is over.
That's gonna be so weird. Try and keep up with the timeline, guys, because this isn't gonna make any sense to you.
We started. The episode. It is August 12th / the 13th because Gemini's ahead of me.
Yeah.
We started recording in April.
Yeah.
That's just so you guys know how long this has taken.
Yeah.
We started in April.
We tried.
Not that we put out the first episode, but we started. We first recorded shit in April. Okay.
Yeah.
And we probably
you still haven't seen a single episode.
And we still haven't uploaded a single thing to this day.
I still get comments on my live streams and stuff saying, "So that collab that you did that exist? You know, was that real or were you fucking with us?"
Yeah, I bring it up in mine too sometimes as well. And they're just like, "Just can't wait. Whenever it's gonna happen."
Sure, yeah, like I'm doing this campaign with Gemini, and they're like, "Yeah, okay.
yeah." You keep saying it, but
okay, making it up, RJ.
Yeah. So, anyways, Gemini, get us out of here, man. Get us out of here.
So, thanks, guys. If any of you are sticking with us for this whole thing, thank you from the bottom of our fucking hearts. Thank you. We will be back with the last campaign. I've heard it isn't as long, so you won't have to suffer much longer, and thankfully neither will we.
It's not?
So,
oh my gosh, yes.
Apparently not, yeah, apparently not. So thank you so much for being here. Smash like on this video if you enjoyed listening to us gas bag for 25 minutes and play the game for about 9. Smash like, subscribe, ring the bell, and we will see you in episode 733. But until then, that's game over. Bye.